go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!"
Let's start with the eggshell, the Stoic logic. When I hold up both of my hands in front of you right now, and I say that I have 10 tiny fingers, would this not be a fact? Would this be a statement that anyone in the world be able to deny? My 10-hand fingers, yes, they are tiny, but they are nonetheless things that anyone can see with their eyes. And if they are crazy or some freak, they can try to touch it and smell it. It is simply an undeniable physical reality. But what if I say that I am a good person? How is it possible to verify the second sentence? Being good is not something that you can see with your eyes. It is not something that you can touch or can smell. In fact, saying that I'm good might as well not mean anything that gives strong value. Same as saying that I am bad, or same as saying that I am ugly, or that I am beautiful. What facts do you get when I say these sentences? Not really much, other than just an opinion. When it comes to the way of thinking, Stoics are very practical, very materialist, and do not accept any ideas that are spiritual or not objectively correct. For something to be logical, it has to be based on facts. Therefore, saying I am a good person cannot be a logical sentence.
You really shouldn't mumble, because I can't understand a word you're saying.
Now, of course, saying that I have 10 fingers and saying that I'm a good person are both sayables that are genuinely accepted and can be used in our daily talk while sipping through some lavender tea with our friends. However, while both things are sayables, only one of them is an assertable. According to the Stoics, sayables are anything that can be said and understood by language, but only facts can be assertables. And it is based on these assertables that Stoics have built their dialectic logical system, a system of arguments that can be used to determine what is factual and logical from what is not. Unlike the Aristotelian dialectic system, which used individual terms, like all humans are animals or all mangoes are fruit, the assertable in the Stoic dialectic system is built on a sentence, and it has to be a fact. Take a sentence, for example, it is raining. This is a very simple sentence, and it can totally be an assertable. If it is actually raining and you state that it is raining, then you are stating a fact that cannot be denied. It is not possible that you would be standing in the middle of a desert on a sunny day and then you say that it is raining. Instead, you can only say it is not raining. So the Stoic assertable has to be either totally true or totally false, and cannot be both true and false at the same time. In addition to this, the assertable has to be based on real, physically existing objects. If I say right now that Voldemort has no nose, then although the sentence is technically correct, it is not a logical sentence for the Stoics, because Voldemort is not a real character. Therefore, this sentence is just a sayable and cannot be an assertable.
Testing.
But the rain is physical and existing. Therefore, it is definitely a correct proposition.
Testing.
And it is raining can be an assertable.
Testing.
But what would happen then when I add another assertable to the original one? It is raining. It is cloudy. By adding a second fact to the original simple assertable, I made it complex. Then I'm going to add one small word to it that is going to give it a complete new meaning, the mighty if word. If it is raining, it is cloudy. The if type of arguments is known as conditional. In this example, by adding the if, I am basing the validity of the second proposition on the first proposition, in which I'm saying that if it is raining, then it must be cloudy. But wait, I can then still extend this complex assertable to make an argument. If it is raining, it is cloudy. It is raining, therefore it's cloudy. Makes sense, right? If the beginning, then the end. The beginning, therefore the end.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
When we try to deduce this argument to its purest form, we can arrive at the following. If X, then Y. X, therefore Y. You can replace the X and the Y with any propositions, and the conclusion will always have to be correct. If the food is salty, it is sour. The food is salty, therefore it is sour. If the person has a beard, he will have to be male. The person has a beard, therefore he is a male.
Time to dance on your graves.
And the conditional is actually not the only tool in the dialectic language. There's also two other equally strong tools. The and, the conjunction, in addition to the or, the disjunction. So we can also say if a person is breathing and his heart is beating, he is alive. The conclusion, he is alive, cannot be correct except if both is breathing, and the second proposition, his heart is beating, is also correct. If X and Y, Z. X and Y, therefore Z. If the leaves are turning yellow or the harvest moon appears, it is autumn. The conclusion can be correct if either any of the two propositions, harvest moon appears, or leaves are turning yellow, is correct. If X or Y, Z. X or Y, therefore Z.
And that's the game! Nothing further, Your Honor.
Just in the same way that you can add chili pepper to any food to make it spicy, you can also add the negation not to any part of this argument to turn it upside down. If it is raining, it is cloudy. It is not raining, therefore it is not cloudy. If X, Y, not X, therefore not Y. If there is mold, it is not dry. There is mold, therefore it is not dry. If X, not Y. X, therefore not Y. And this gets more complicated in the conjunction and the disjunction. If it feeds or reproduces, it is not dead. It is not dead, therefore it can feed or reproduce. If X or Y, not Z. Not Z. Therefore X or Y. If it is yellow and lives in a pineapple under the sea, it is SpongeBob. He does not live in a pineapple under the sea. Therefore, he is not SpongeBob. If X and Y, Z, not Y. Therefore, not Z. And I'm sure that this can be a valid argument because we all know that SpongeBob exists. There has to be a yellow sponge with the square pants and a white shirt living under a pineapple and working in a burger restaurant somewhere around the sea. We just have not discovered it yet.
Here I go! Hey, this isn't so bad.
We can go indefinitely with these, just messing around with these tools to get more and more complicated arguments. Arguments which are supposed to provide us with logical conclusions. Logical conclusions that you can use to get absolutely no knowledge. Yes, my friend, you heard that correct. I'm sorry to disappoint you, all hard-working Procopes who spend all their days with their pen and paper creating dialectic logical arguments under the beautiful tree shade. For the Stoics, logic does not equal knowledge. Knowledge, or episteme, is very sophisticated in Stoicism because real knowledge is absolute and definite and has to always be right. And who is the one who is always right? The awesome, spectacular sage. Therefore, it is only the sage who has knowledge. But if only the sage has knowledge, then what do we, common poor folks, have? Well, the rest of us have agnoia, which is ignorance. Yes, I'm sorry to break it to you again, my friend. We are all just a bunch of ignorance. But what does this mean? Does this mean that all what we know is just a lie? Is 12 plus 10 not really equal to 22? Do I not really have 10 fingers in my hands? Do I have 12 or 8 fingers and I'm actually just so ignorant about it? Was Michael Jackson actually black all his life and we were not seeing him as such because we are all ignorant and idiots? Is this world around us just hallucinations inside of our head that we imagine because we are full of ignorance? Not really. Thankfully, there is a third condition of the Stoic knowledge, catalepsis, which roughly means cognition. And these are the impressions that we get from our senses and our minds. And unlike the knowledge that the Sig has, which is definitely correct and represents the actual reality of things, this cognition that we poor folks have can always be false, regardless of how real or even logical they might seem. So in the eyes of the Stoics, this is who all non-Sigs really are. Ignorance with cognitions. Or maybe that is just my logic about it. My totally uncertain cognitions that can never be knowledge. How can I know when I'm not a Sig? At the end of this video, I want to thank you all ignorant folks for watching. And of course, if you have any opinions or reflections on that topic, please don't hesitate to share them in the comments. I hope you stay safe, and I hope to always find you later at the Seifest Space.